Hey Kawaii Gang, welcome back. And in this time around, I'll be doing my Inktober sketchbook tour. So let's get started. Here we have the Inktober prompts for 2018, and I wrote down the Inktober rules. And Inktober is a time of growth and growing, and a time we can be creative. I followed the Jake Parker Inktober, and that's where he has his prompts, and you can be creative. In this sketchbook tour, it will be followed by ballpoint pens, fine liners, and markers, and etc. Let's dive in. So for this prompt was poisonous, so I sketched out a poisonous frog, and he's inked out with ballpoint pen. That was the prompt, poisonous. This prompt was tranquil, so I sketched out an owl. And he's inked out with ballpoint pen once again. And the next prompt was spell, so I used the book from Hocus Pocus. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. And he's inked out with ballpoint pen and a yellow highlighter for his eyes. And for this prompt was for roasted, so I sketched out roasted marshmallows for camping on a stick, and I used Zentangle's designs. And for this sketch, this prompt was chicken, so I used the general from Chicken Run. And he's inked with ballpoint pen again. This prompt was drool, so I used the character from Cinderella. He has cheese stacked up, and he's drooling. I inked him out. I also used white gel pen to outline his details of his shirt, and I inked out his shirt with black fine liner and blue pen for his hat. And for this prompt, it was for exhausted, so I went with SpongeBob looking exhausted. He's bleeding on his lip. He's sweating. Had a long day at work. And I inked out his arms with yellow highlighter. And for this prompt was stars, so I went with Patrick Star. And I used black fine liner and ballpoint pen once again, and red pen to the lining of his mouth. And this prompt was treasure. And it was precious also, so I used the pirate's treasure with the pirate's chest. This prompt was ghost, so I went with the Mario ghost. And I outlined them with the black fine liner. I used red ink for the tongue. Also used blue for the face. And this prompt was cruel, so I used the bully from Doug. And white gel pen for the outlining of his jacket. And pen for his pants, and orange pen for his hair. And for this prompt was whale, so I used the whale from Finding Dory. I gave her spots. And I used ballpoint pen and fine liner, black fine liner. This prompt for Inktober was guarded, so I used Titan, Ariel's dad. And I used the yellow highlighter to color in his trident and his crown and his bracelet on his arm. for this prompt was for clock, so I used the skull, and I used his face for a clock, and I put the time, the numbers, the clock numbers, hashtag TikTok, hashtag hurry, hashtag time is running out. And for this prompt was for week, so I sketched out The Simpsons. No. He has brains. I use red pen to represent the blood. He's a zombie. He has teeth. And for his mouth, I used black fine liner. For this prompt, Inktober was angular. So I drew the fish from Dr. Seuss, and I gave him Zentangle designs for his tail inside his body. He has glasses. This prompt was swollen, so I used Poppy from Trolls, Shadow Ballard reaction. And once again, I used black fine liner and ballpoint pen for her hair, and Zentangle designs inside of her hair. And this prompt was bottle, so on your left you have two skulls holding a bottle, a poison bottle, and on your right I got the inspiration from Hercules, so I used the poison bottle. In the background is the wooden floor that you would see in a bar, and there's Zentangle designs inside the hands and the bottle. This prompt was scorched, so I got the inspiration from the lake in Africa that will turn you to ash if anybody who steps in it. So the bird is scorched from the gas bowls coming off the lake, and step in if you dare. This prompt was breakable, so I sketched out a heart, and I got 2 bullet holes, and it has stitches, and those are the vessels of the heart. For this sketch I used red pen and the black ballpoint pen, and to fill it in I used a black fine liner. This prompt here is drain, so it's an hourglass with the sand coming out and 2 skull hands holding the hourglass. Inside is the Zentangle design, and it's a golden rope holding it together. This sketch was expensive, so of course I had to use the Scrooge, and I used the Zentangle design to make his jacket expensive. He got his money bag right here with all his coins. This sketch was muddy, so I sketched out Winnie the Pooh. And for the mud I used black fine liner and ballpoint pen and a red pen to fill in his jacket, his red t-shirt. Got mud all over him. Ooh, Pooh. And for this sketch was Chop, so I used a zombie hand that's bleeding. Outlined his details with black fine liner and brain served on a plate. Hashtag eat if you dare, hashtag deadly, hashtag zombie, hashtag brain served cold. And for this prompt was prickly, so I went with a cactus, and it's to represent the thorns. And I used a ballpoint pen. And the prompt for Inktober was stretch. So I drew the mom from Incredible because she's stretchy. And I used the Zentangle design for her hair. And white ball pen for lining of her hand. And this Inktober prompt is thunder, so I used the lightning bolts from Pokemon, from Pikachu. Pika Pika, and he get mad. This prompt was gift, so Smurf, he always has gifts. Gift Smurf. And I used the blue marker to color him in and yellow highlighter to cover the gift and red pen to color in the bow. And for this prompt was double, so I used the eels from Ursula, her helpers, and I used a white gel pen to outline them and gold outlining of their body and black fine liner to color them in. And this prompt was Jolt, so I drew Edgar from Edgar, the Aristocats, and I outlined his jacket with white gel pen, and the floor was in Tangle design, and a cat was on his back, so I got him his reaction. He got caught in his scheme. And last but not least, this prompt for Inktober was slice. So I drew a slice, a zombie slice, and fine lined it with black fine liner and markers supposed to represent gross and nasty. Hashtag gross, hashtag pizza slice, hashtag pizzeria. And that's it, folks, for this Inktober sketchbook tour. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.